Okay, we're going to begin, I guess.
Yeah, so
Okay, here we are. It's the September 11th, 10 years gone, and I was like, what does that mean today? But I guess some of it is you have to. For me, I do have to kind of compare it as it goes back to 10 years, and I mean, what's changed? I suppose how I'm reacting to it has changed. It's not all obsessing, all consuming anymore. I mean, there are so many things. I do have to touch on the original thing. I had recently moved into the area. It was like a dream to live in this area. We had just moved in, and 3 weeks later, September 11th happened. I was assigned to Ladder 10, which was on the corner of Liberty and Greenwich. The South Tower fell up against the firehouse. And I was my day off. I worked the day before and I came home. I was here. So the move up here probably saved my life. I'm convinced of that. By the time I got down there, the two bigger towers, 1 and 2, had fallen. And 7 was still shaking but free burning, and it hadn't come down yet. And it begins, and what happened was then I was gone. I was gone constantly. I went down there that day, and I basically lived there until the following April into May. So it was obviously what I'm doing now, 10 years later, is much different than that, because I was all consuming. I abandoned my family. My wife, Lynn, was basically raising my kids as a single parent because I wasn't home. And when I was home, I was useless because all I wanted to do was go back down. And what's different now? What's different later? It's still depressing. It's sad. I mean, I knew almost everyone that was killed. I probably knew half of those guys on a first-name basis. I knew more than half of the Port Authority cops that were killed. I knew the guys that worked in the gift shop and the cooks, because we used to respond up when they had a smoke condition in the restaurant. So I knew the cooks. I knew everyone. And as my circle expanded out from my firehouse to the fire department to the police to the civilians to the people, it really expanded. It was overwhelming. It was an overwhelming event. I suppose what's changed, pardon me if I'm rambling, I'm not good at this video stuff. I'm usually on the other side of the camera. I'm not obsessed by it. I don't think about it all the time. When I do think about it, it's the same. It's sad. I'm sorry what happened in that name. Like, I think a band of knuckleheads with sheetrock knives caused it. And there was this, ridiculously inappropriate response to it by people that I thought should have known better. I mean, we're in Afghanistan, we're in Iraq, and what are we doing there? I mean, that's what I think about today. I'm looking back and I said, how did this come out of that? It just seemed like politically the country did a completely inappropriate response to it. My opinion of politicians has probably been affected too, because they all showed up then. Everybody wanted their picture taken with us, and now it's to the point where this is Friday. On Sunday, we're really not even invited. Like, the first responders are being encouraged, to stay away, that they'll talk to us another day. And I won't be doing that. I'll have my dress uniform on, and I will be down on the corner of Greenwich and Liberty with the guys that I worked with, the survivors, and that's how I'm going to commemorate that day. I don't know, what else can I say? It's funny, I think I'm past it, and then when I'm talking about it like this, a lot of it comes back. It's sad. There's the build up to it, the 10-year anniversary, and I'm not a big boob tube watcher, but there's a lot of it on the television, and I get sucked in. I'll see a face that I know, or a guy that I worked with. They were just guys. We were trying to find anybody, and there was all these, like I said, I know what's supposed to be now, but now the images seem to come back again. And I remember doing a circle of the site. We were trying, one of the big chiefs wanted to know who was there that was missing, and my response to that was, everyone's here. It would be easier to find, instead of doing a roll call, who's there, who's not here, everyone's here. And we made a list. We actually circulated, me and another guy, actually, we said, well, I'll start here and we'll work and we'll pass each other, and then I'll cover your ground and you cover mine, and we'll meet back at Chambers Street at the high school, and we'll compile this list. And then we did it from going to like rigs that we could access, or I'd find people, the engine chauffeurs, if you know, that's the guy that drives the engine. I found a lot of those guys. They would be hooked up in the dark. They were hooked up to a hydrant with the engines running. And that was the survivor from the company, because that was his job. He's the pump operator. So I'd find him and the rest of the company gone. I'd find another pump operator sitting there with his rig and the rest of the company gone. And we took the riding list off the dashboards or whatever, or tried to get people to tell us. And then we made the list, and the list was pretty much on the money. I think we had 355 names or something when we compiled them all, and it turned out a couple of people had been removed to hospitals, whatever, but the list was pretty much on the money. And like I said, it goes from there. It does soften, time does heal. I don't want to forget, but I'm also glad that I'm not, I was obsessed by it. I really was. I ate, slept, and drank it. It affected me mentally, physically. I mean, I have lung problems that I'm dealing with. I take medication, but I'm doing okay. I mean, there's a lot of guys I work with on the rubble that aren't here. They've died of these exotic cancers. I can still breathe. I mean, I have trouble breathing. If I walk up from the train, I can't walk up to 9D. I have to stop along the way because I just lose my breath. I lose my breath if I get excited. But you know, I'm taking medication for that. It's okay. They say nothing's growing on my insides or anything, so I'm happy for that. I'm grateful for that. But you know, I'm doing what I can. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't put anything that's not prescribed into my body. I try to watch what I'm eating, and that's okay. I'm back in my family's life. It affected my children. I think particularly my youngest, who's now 21. I mean, he was 11 years old when this happened. He was a young kid to be processing all this information. And see, I never know when this is going to go. That's why I told you I have no idea what's going to happen when I start to talk about this, because sometimes I don't like to talk about it. But I said it was Providence. I was thinking about coming to see you folks, and then I got an email. Would I maybe stop in and say something? And I said it was Providence. I'm supposed to come in here and do this. So that's where it is. It's it'll be sad. I'm going to go down. I'm going to do the ceremony of the whole thing, and then I hope to come back up the line and put my little Stony Point T-shirt on and go enjoy the second half of the hoop, and along Sandy Beach. That's been a great place too. I spent a lot of time on the beach there, just in solitude. I would just go in there and just sit, and I would just look across the river and remind myself that what I was seeing downtown was not reality. That was an aberration. That the river and everything, that was reality. And that helped a lot. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm at the point I can wrap this up. I mean, that's my take on it, and I guess thanks for the opportunity to share it, and I hope maybe it makes sense, or it might even help someone. I don't know.